After the end of the Civil War and before the radical Republicans took over Reconstruction, white Southern Democrats implemented black codes, laws that dictated what black people could and could not do and where they could and could not go. And do you know what the first state was to implement the black codes? Mississippi. You are correct. You remembered our lessons. Mississippi was the first state to implement the black codes, and all of the other states followed Mississippi's black codes. Yes. As a matter of fact, all the other southern states followed Mississippi's Jim Crow laws as well. And when it came down to adding poll taxes and literacy tests as requirements for black voting, Mississippi was the first at that as well. They seemed to be the first when it came to oppressing black people. Yes. Now we're going to fast forward to 2023 and see what they've done now. February 2023, the Mississippi State House passed House Bill 1020, and the legislation would establish a separate court system for part of the state's capital city. Under House Bill 1020, the white conservative Chief Justice of the Mississippi Supreme Court would handpick the new district's supervising judges. Its prosecutors and public defenders would be chosen by the state's white Republican Attorney General. Please note that the other districts would continue to elect their judges and prosecutors and public defenders. Now, the new district, the new zone, would be policed by an expanded Capitol Police force led by the current white police chief and supervised by the state's white public safety commissioner. Now, the force has already been criticized by the local leaders for aggressive tactics and multiple shootings by officers. Yeah. Now, in case you didn't know, the capital of Mississippi is Jackson, which is 80 to 83% black and home to a higher percentage of black residents than any major city in America. Yeah. Now, if this sounds like Jim Crow, well, that's because it is, right? Remember, Jim Crow was a set of laws that differentiated black people from white people. It was a different set of laws that black people had to live by. Mainly, it treated them as inferior, okay? And what we're looking at with House Bill 1020 is that they are disenfranchising black people, treating them differently as inferior to the other jurisdictions who can continue to elect their judges and public defenders. Meanwhile, the citizens of Jackson, which is 80 to 83% black, they can no longer elect their judges. They can no longer elect their public defenders. Instead, what we have here is a white Republican state official in charge of choosing the judges that will be overseeing the Democratic-leaning city with mostly black residents. These black residents would have no voting rights on the matter, making it Mississippi's only jurisdiction where unelected judges and prosecutors have jurisdiction over criminal and civil matters. That's Jim Crow.